Hello, hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I am your host, John Harris, and today on the Rock Metal Podcast, we have Signum Draconis. They have a new album called The Divine Comedy Inferno, which is released on November 12th and via Rockshots Records. Right now I'm being joined by Max to share some more information about this stellar release. So Max, welcome to the show.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you, John, for hosting me this evening. And it's so good to be here tonight.
Absolutely. Now, something you mentioned, Max, in the pre-roll there before we hit record was using a real choir and a real orchestra.
Yeah.
Take us through that. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was a great experience, of course, because, using a real orchestra and a real choir gave to the record something more professional, something that went deeper with the music and with the art that is behind this music. Because we are talking about the Divine Comedy, the Inferno, about Dante Alighieri. So we wanted something really special, to pay the tribute in a correct way that it deserved. Because Dante Alighieri is one of the greatest poets that ever existed, and the Divine Comedy is one of the greatest. Peak of the literature all around the world. So that's why we finally decided to go for a real orchestra and a real choir. Even if it was not easy, because it requires a lot of work. It requires many things that goes with it. So, but it was a really great experience. Very, very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you guys write for the orchestra and for the choir? Like, did you give them?
Yeah, Oscar Grace, that is the main composer. He wrote everything for the orchestra. It's the big orchestra with 90 components, and for the choir too, of course. And he did, the main part of the job. And afterwards, of course, we all collaborate all together. We try to give our help somehow, but Oscar Grace, is basically the main composer of the whole record.
Okay, beautiful. Now, the Divine Comedy Inferno, is this based off of a story, or is there a concept or a theme to the album?
Yeah, no, of course. With the album Inferno, what we wanted to do is to describe the adventure of Dante throughout the Inferno, because, of course, the Divine Comedy is composed by three main books, and is Inferno, Purgatory, and Paradise. And with this first record, we wanted to describe what happened in the Inferno. So our songs are talking about, of course, the main part of the Inferno. We had to cut something, of course. We couldn't write, it would have taken for 33 songs, and it was not possible. We already have many songs in the record. It's a double CD, the double record. So, and it describes, all the main part of the Inferno, all the main adventures that Dante went through during his travel with Virgil.
Beautiful. Now, let's go through a couple of these tracks, because there are some music videos that are available, and lyric videos. You mentioned Firestorm's coming out here shortly.
Yeah.
We currently have Whirlwind of Lovers and Gate of Hell. So
yeah,
where are we at in the story with Whirlwind of Lovers?
Whirlwind of Lovers, we are in the fifth chant of the opera of the Inferno. And is basically, with this song, we are telling about the history of the love story of Paolo and Francesca. And this song is describing, all the things that went through their story and why they are, of course, in the hell. And for all the mistakes that they made, because Francesca was married with the brother of Paolo. So she was killed. This love was something that they could not have. And that's the main reason because they are ended up like this. I mean, and Dante met with them and described the pain they're going through, and most of all, he underlined the fact that this pain is no ending. Is something that is going to be forever. There will not be an end one day. So that's it.
Okay. Beautiful.
This is the main, the song.
Yeah. Beautiful, baby. What?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Prego. What about Gate of Hell? Where are we at in the story with Gate of Hell?
Oh, Gate of Hell is, it's almost the beginning of the story of Dante, because as the title say, is the gate of hell. So it's the beginning of the hell. And it's talking about, the first impression of Dante, the first, sensation of terror that is taking on him because of the environment that he is getting in is, of course, is very dark, is full of screams, of all the damned soul that are there. So, and it describes is the story of Charon that came with his boat to take all the damned souls and to cross the river Acheronte, and to take all these souls to the Inferno, to the real Inferno.
Wow.
Yeah, it's almost the third chance of the Inferno. So we are still in the beginning. But it's the beginning of the real part of the Inferno. Okay, is where is going to be really tough.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. What about Firestorm? Where are we at in the story with Firestorm?
Yeah, we are in the 15th chant, number 15 chant, and this is the story, about is the seventh circle of the hell, and is where Dante put the sodomites. And I want to say something in this about this song, because it becomes something that I want to underline and I want to say. And he's talking about the sodomites. We have to think about that we are talking about a man that lived 700 years ago, and he's just describing the situation of the society at that time. Of course, Signum Draconis is totally against any kind of discrimination or intolerance, of course, because we are talking about the sodomites. So at the same time, we want to respect the poetry of Dante Alighieri, and that's why I want to underline that we are talking about a man that lived 700 years ago, and that is just describing the situation that was going on at this time, and he's trying with some big metaphor of this Inferno to describe what was going on in an allegoric way, okay? Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to say that, of course, is not something that is coming from us. We are just describing what Dante said in the comedy, and that, of course, we are, against any kind of intolerance or, as I said.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's quite the comedy. It's a satire, and
yeah, it's kind of like satire, allegoric things, because as you can see in this song, for example, in the chant, that inspired the song. Dante met with Brunetto Latini. Brunetto Latini was kind of like his master, the one that was teaching to Dante how to, develop his poetry, develop his, all his operas. And Dante, even if you put Brunetto Latini in that part of the Inferno, he's still talking with Brunetto Latini with a kind of reverence, because he recognized him as its master, so as his master. So, as you said, is very satiric somehow and allegoric.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My understanding is it was written like a lot of satire to inspire change.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Whether that happened or not.
Yeah, yes, because Dante, of course, was condemning somehow. He was condemning somehow a lot of things that were going on at this time, at his time. Mm-hmm. And yes, and through the comedy, he was trying to saying it somehow.
Yeah. I guess my question is, how did you guys work at conveying this musically? if that makes sense.
Yeah, we started, with the lyrics. It was not easy. We had the big help of our friend Fred Pollock. He is a Scottish guy, so his mother language, and he really helped us to find the right words, because as you can say, sometimes it's not current English. It's old English. A lot of the words are ancient English, something like that. So first of all, we made some cut to the original words of Dante. We found what we thought that was better to be put in music. Then we had to translate it, and after the translation, we had to put it in metric to respect, the music, the metric, the endecassyllabus. How do you say? I don't remember, with the endecassyllabus, something like that. Is a metric composition that Dante used in the comedy, and afterwards we had to choose the right words, and which Fred helped us a lot, of course.
Yeah.
And after all this, we managed to feel, the atmosphere from the lyrics. It was easier for us to find the atmosphere, to find the correct sound, and to find a way to develop this sound throughout, because the Inferno is an escalation, okay? Even if you're going deeper, of course, the deepest point is going to be the hardest one, the toughest one. So we also had to rely with our music to this, to start in a softer way, not really softer because it's still heavy metal, but our mission was to go, always stronger and stronger. And once the lyrics were done, it was easier for us to create all these things. And as I said, Oscar Grace was the main composer also for this. Mm-hmm. He came up with all the job almost done, and then was our turn. And each one of us in each, instrument, for example, for me, it was the vocal part. For the other guys, Stefano Antonelli is the bass player, Francesco Micheli is the drummer, and Filippo Sasha Martignano is the keyboard. Each one of us took care of his competence in his instrument.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I see Freddie Mercury on your right-hand side.
Yes, Freddie Mercury. He's a little representation of Freddie Mercury. Yes.
A bust of Freddie Mercury.
A bust, yes, right. It's a long time that I had it, since I was, from the high school, something like that.
Yeah. Okay, now, I guess my next question then is, because Queen, over time, has done operas and things of that sort, was that an inspiration at all for this particular record?
Okay, no, it was not an inspiration for this particular record. It was not an inspiration at all, because the main inspiration for this particular record came from Oscar Grace. And it was a long time. He has always been, a fan of Dante and of Divine Comedy. And he was once thinking, and these things came to his mind. So Queen was not an inspiration particularly for this opera. The only thing I can say about Queen is that, of course, Queen, especially with the Queen 2 album, they've been a big inspiration for me, for my particular way of singing, for my particular, approach to the music in general, not only singing. So that's what I would say about Queen relating to this record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Now, the record at time of streaming, just in general, it released a few days ago, to November 12th. It released.
Yeah.
How's the response been so far from the fan base?
I think it was very good. I'm very happy because we had very good response from the fan base. The video on YouTube are going in a very good way. We are very satisfied. And we had some recension, some, the most of them were good. The most of them were... one thing that I would love to say is that from what I could read, they're all expecting us to make Purgatory as the second album, because from what I could so. Many people think that the Purgatory is the next work that will come out in the next years. I mean, and of course, we want to do the entire Divine Comedy, but we still don't know. I mean, it takes a lot of times to make this kind of record because you have to make it properly. It has to be made in the right way. So, of course, we will do Purgatory one day, but we are not really sure if it's going to be the second album or not. We are already working about many other ideas too, so we will see. I just wanted to specify these things because I almost read these things everywhere. Where they are talking about us, they always write this kind of things. So I just wanted to specify this to be clear about it.
Beautiful. I don't think I really have anything else to include from that. We chatted about Whirlwind of Lovers. We chatted about Gate of Hell. We chatted about Firestorm. We chatted about Firestorm. We chatted about the album, The Divine Comedy, Inferno, Dante's Inferno, out November 12th via Rock Shots Records. So it's out now everywhere that you consume music. So if you're listening in right now, just stop everything and go to wherever you consume music. Is that Apple? Is that Spotify? Wherever that is, it's available. You can listen to it.
Yes, go for it, guys.
Go for it, baby. Now, so we're using a real choir, a real orchestra, chatting about Dante's Inferno, working from those lyrics, because we chatted about getting the lyrics down first, which I think is really cool. The music videos or lyric videos for the 3 tracks we chatted about today will be available in today's show notes. And then the album, The Divine Comedy Inferno, is available everywhere you consume music. Max, did I miss anything? Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to chat about that I didn't bring up?
I really hope that you guys enjoy our album. You can check it out on our page on Facebook, SIGNUM DRACONIS, and Instagram, and all the other social media, and also on the page of Rock Shot Records, of course. I want to thank Roberto Giordano of Rock Shot Records. I want to thank you, John, for your I mean, you've been very, very nice to us. So thank you so much, and it's been a pleasure to be here tonight with you. And nothing else. That's good.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much, Max, for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Thank you. Bye, John.